Idea last night was really a historical debate. And it's not the first thing we're going to be talking about. The first thing we're talking about is this. So that video was released Friday, and we haven't really had a chance to get into this until now. And he's repeatedly dismissed this as locker room talk. And his supporters, you know, his posse has gone around all weekend talking about, you know, this is locker room talk. And just wondered what you thought of that locker room talk.
He's not in a locker room.
It's not locker room talk. I was in Atlantic City this weekend working on a piece for Nightline, and I spoke to 4 men who were talking about this, and I kind of inserted myself into their conversation, and they all said, different ages, different ethnicities, former athletes, said men don't talk about sexually assaulting women. They may talk about, right? I mean, they may talk about their girlfriends or somebody they want to date, but they don't talk like this. And I spoke to my father, I spoke to my husband, I even spoke to my son, who's 14, who plays varsity football. He was horrified at the notion that Donald Trump would say that this is what men do. Men don't do that. They don't. It's very insulting. Yeah.
And you know, he uses his fame as the way to get around that. He said, when you're famous, you can do this. Yeah. No, D, you can't.
Yeah.
Women don't like that. They don't want you to touch them like that. They don't want you all up in them if they don't know you. That's very piggish behavior.
Oh, he's a pig. That's saying the least, though.
Well, I think that, you know, how people keep saying boys will be boys in the locker room reference. I was looking at it because something made me uncomfortable the first time I heard it, and I remember trying to lock into what part is turning my stomach. Yeah. And it was really the aggressive part, because nobody makes a move by grabbing someone where he references. That's not even a smooth move. That's nothing. That's power. And I think that was the thing that kept turning my stomach, is that's not even a, it's aggressive. Kissing someone, all those things. But that line right there, when he said that, it was just about power and aggressiveness.
Well, it's a crime. I mean, I prosecuted sex crimes. That's a sexual assault. Classic sexual assault. People go to jail for that. He wants Hillary Clinton to go to jail. Maybe he needs to go to jail for sexual assault.
You know, no, it's not going to happen, because you can't prove that he did it. He says that's what you do. So that's the difference. But you know,
when he did it, though, he implied that he did it.
Implying is not the same as the law. She'll tell you.
We don't have a tape yet.
But he was also almost 60 years old when he did this. Yes. I mean, he's talking about it like he was some kid in a locker room to boot. Not only that, let's say, yeah, maybe you'll find some stray person in a locker room that's going to talk like that. They're not all running for president. Yeah. They're not all trying to be the leader of the free world, Donald.
But you know what's crazy is that 4 former sitting presidents, former sitting presidents have said they don't feel he has the temperament to be president. When 4 former sitting presidents tell you that, and it's 2 GOP, 2 Democratic.
Yeah.
When they're telling you, they've had this job, they've done this job. When they tell you no, now you can talk to Chris Christie and you can talk to Giuliani. You know, what have they done?
But it doesn't move the needle on his people.
No.
Well, the other thing is the judge, like when you have a mic on, we all work with mics on. You know, you say some things that are funny, or, oh, I can't believe I just said that. His free will to just sit there in that bus and talk, knowing he's around people that are aware of this stuff and recording it. And it just seems like he really saw nothing wrong.
He is entitled. I just want to commend, though, there have been more than 30 people on the Republican side that are notable, that have come forward, 3 dozen that have said this is unacceptable. And I just want to call upon the people like the Marco Rubios and the Ted Cruzes and the Paul Ryans who condemn it but don't withdraw your endorsement. And I want to say, if you don't withdraw your endorsement, you are putting your stamp of approval on this, because this man is not fit. He is not fit for the job.
I don't give them credit. I don't give them credit for coming out now and saying this was so inappropriate. He's insulted Muslims. He's insulted Latinos. He's insulted
a lot of them are holding on to the party platform.
They don't get credit for that. Maya Angelou often said, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. He showed us who he was. months and months and months ago. And so for them now to take credit,
yeah, but if they didn't say
yes,
if they didn't hold him accountable, we'd all be sitting at this table, rightfully so, saying, where are they? So they're saying, here we are. We've had enough.
You know what? Can we see the positive spin on that? Because it's a beautiful thing that everyone's abandoning him. I mean, even really, let's watch this all unfold. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger, another groper, is abandoning him. You can't even rely on a groper.
I have to say, my favorite Republican reaction came from one of my favorite Republicans, Ana Navarro. Look at her in this clip. She is no joke. I'm sorry. You know, there are rumors that there's maybe more videos of Trump behaving badly. Producers of The Apprentice claim they're sitting on a tape of Donald using the N-word. What a surprise. I mean, do you think this is going to matter? I mean, I don't really think it's going to matter.
I think the people most up in arms already aren't voting for him. The people that are talking the most about this were already on one side. The people that are voting for him, I don't think they're shocked by these things. No. I think we kind of know what we were expecting.
It's just more racism. We've already heard it. She already said that Paul Ryan won't disavow and Mitch McConnell won't disavow.
He used the N-word.
Why?
Why is that different than saying that you groping a woman in her private part? It's the same BS, girl.
But certainly people are calling him out now, I think too late. The fact that he is now also on record using racial epithets, I think
it's different though, because I'll tell you why it's different though, because society has decided that N-word is a disgrace, and there's a segment of the population that thinks it's okay to talk like that.
You know what? I still use the N-word. I use the N-word. But here's the deal, okay? When you talk about physically touching someone, grabbing their crotch, that's different to me. That's different. Well, I don't care that you don't think it's different. I think it's different. Okay? It's very different. Because I know he's used the N-word. I know he's used the C-word. I've known he's used the S-word and the L and the P-word.
Well, you know, I have to ask you, so you don't think it's different? One is words and the other is physical action.
Well, he's saying that there was no physical action, and he's also saying they were just words. My message is words matter.
Yeah,
words have real meaning. The N-word is one of the most despicable words in our country. And for all of us to sort of sit here and say, well, you know, saying the P word or groping means
no, excuse me. Don't do that. I'm sending the message that says lots of us use the N-word. I'm not concerned that he used the N-word. I'm not surprised that he used the N-word. I am surprised. Well, you can be concerned, baby, but don't downplay what I feel.
I'm not trying to do that.
Okay, that's what you did.
I did not.
Because you just kind of did it, but that's what you did. So that's why I'm calling
How is it different?
But in any case,
but how is it that much different from saying Mexicans are rapists? I mean, it's
what he does.
It's what he does. Flex to Bill Clinton, and that drives me crazy only because you can feel that both people did something wrong. You can look at this. Bill Clinton having done something wrong that he was impeached for doesn't make your wrong any less important to call out. And Bill Clinton's not running for president.
Yes.
No, but he also said, don't impugn me for something I said 10 years ago. Bill Clinton did his thing 20 years ago.
Well, plus
and he's paid for it.
Years old.
Let's call it what it is. He's a dirty old man. That's what he is.
Well, it's worse than that. Because you know what she didn't do? You know what she didn't do? She didn't do what he did.
Hillary, yeah.
Hillary didn't do what he did. Because Hillary could have said, listen, your wife and I, or your wives and I, have been put in a similar club.
Right.
We've been put in the Shame the Woman club. Shame the woman whose husband has philandered.
She didn't say that.
She didn't do that. She didn't do it, I think.
that was good that she didn't do that?
I am glad she didn't do it because she wasn't blaming the woman. See, Donald is blaming her for her husband's trespasses. Right. That's very different. Now, she is running for president. She didn't do anything wrong, except maybe get in some woman's face and say, touch my man and I'm going to slap the poo out of you. Maybe she did that. But to me, she didn't embarrass his grandchildren.
No, that's
or his daughter.
As Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high.
And that's what she did.
I don't know if that was the right strategy.
It was. I'll tell you why, because I don't support her policy, but I found myself feeling pretty good about her in that moment. So.
We'll be right back.
Yep.
just getting started, because they're all over the high points and low blows of Clinton versus Trump round 2. Next.
Welcome back. We were talking about the debate last night, and you were saying that you thought it was a good idea. You thought it was not a good idea for her not to bring up Ivana and Marla.
He went really low, but I thought it was an opportunity for her to also be personal and get personal. People always complain that she's so robotic and that this is sort of a marriage of convenience. And when he attacked her husband and attacked her marriage, I thought there could have been an opportunity for her to say, you know, I stayed in my marriage for my family and for the country, and we fought hard and we've come out on the other end. That's something that you haven't done. And don't try to take me down for that.
See, I saw it as he doesn't deserve that explanation. Yeah. Bill Clinton's not running for president. She's running for president. And I don't agree with her on policy, but as a female watching, I said, you know what? I wouldn't be that strong in that moment. I would have let him have it. I would have lost my cool. And she didn't.
And she did.
She brought it back to the issues, and that's what I want in a leader. So I looked at that moment, and even though I don't agree with her on policy, I was able to sit back and say, that showed me that what she's been saying about temperament and her own temperament is true, because that was a moment where if you were going to lose your cool, that was the time to do it, and she did not.
Did anyone find him scary? I mean, he was lurking around like one of those weird clowns out there, you know? And every time he lied, he would sniff.
Yeah.
I didn't say I didn't want Muslims in the country. I said, I'm not going to say it was the Zika. Maybe it was the cocaine. We don't know. But I found him very weird, like just lurking around her in this creepy way.
Some of the camera shots, he looked like Elf on a Shelf on her shoulder. Yeah. But I felt like there were times where I was so proud of her, because when I would have a hard time staying focused and not turning around saying, can you please sit down, sir? Like,
but that's what he was doing. The fact that he just, that he's moving so much, and he's like, it's like, dude, bathe.
ADD, honey.
Bathe. No, just his whole face was moving, and his fingers were moving, and just like, I mean, it was just, and I actually started to live tweet because it was driving me crazy.
Were you tweeting?
I was tweeting. At one point, I said, what? WTF? And I thought, ... Oh, come on, that's Alec Baldwin.
And when you said you were watching Twitter a little bit, like always, I was watching Twitter, and I saw some things, because a lot of people were just so over the debate from the get-go, and like Sean Parker wrote, okay, I'm over this debate. This is like having the flu and mono at the same time. And then an angry debate watcher, that's their name, said Hillary is the overprepared kid who finishes her test in 5 minutes. Trump is the jock who intimidates someone into letting him cheat.
That's right. That's a good one. And how about he threw Mike Pence under the Access Hollywood bus?
Didn't
you notice that?
Yeah.
What happened to Mike Pence?
He did. He said that they had not spoken about Syria yet.
When your own vice president is turning on you.
Can you read that crazy tweet? What did he say about it? Where he was like, you know.
Oh, we were just going over it.
It's not Syria. It's not Syria. Syria's Russia, and Russia is ISIS. And
he and I were trying to figure it out over the break. He said, I think you have to knock out ISIS. Right now, Syria is fighting ISIS. We have people that want to fight both at the same time, but Syria is no longer Syria. Syria is Russia, and it's Iran, who she made strong, and Kerry and Obama made into a very powerful nation and a very rich nation very, very quickly, very, very quickly. I don't know what that means.
Quote tweeted, this is from his mouth. When I'm president, Bigley and one of the lower will be a very against police judge.
What? Did he really say that?
Yes. It was.
What do we think he meant?
I have no idea. There were 4 topics.
Big league.
But I will say this.
Big league, but I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
Why does he say that? Why does he say
big league, like baseball league?
Well, it still doesn't make sense in the sentence.
We don't know. It's difficult to make sense of the nonsensical.
Big league, there's got to be.
But you know who was also live tweeting? My former boss, Eric Holder, who is the former Attorney General, the 82nd Attorney General. He said this. So in response to when Donald Trump actually, this was, I thought, the most important moment of the debate, he said that he would assign a special prosecutor to investigate Hillary Clinton and that she would end up in jail. So Eric Holder says, so real Donald Trump will order his AG to take certain actions. When Nixon tried that, his AG courageously resigned. Trump is dangerous and unfit. I think that we really have to think about what he said. I mean, he's talking about using the power of the presidency to put a political opponent in jail.
Well,
That is what dictators do.
He thinks that we're in a banana republic, you know, like some junta in Argentina, that you can just become the dictator and put all your political opponents in jail.
Doesn't that terrify everyone?
Well, it terrifies more because he doesn't know the job of the president.
No. You know what? It doesn't terrify me because I believe that the American people do not want him to be the custodian of our integrity. I don't believe that we want that. So I'm going to believe. I don't know if he's going to win, but I do believe that there's not an American who can look themselves in the face and say, I'm voting for him because he's right for the country. I don't think that you can look at yourself and say, he's talking about my values. If you can, perhaps you're not the American. Maybe it's not everybody else. Maybe it's him. Maybe he's not the true American.
But this is why I was glad that she let him hang himself. Because you don't let him just keep going. Let's tread water with him and make him the candidate. Because they could have, I guess, I don't really know the laws of the country that well, but they could have put a legit Republican candidate in there, maybe.
Yeah, but that's not how the people voted.
But that's not how the people voted.
That's not how the people voted.
Wish she would have popped out of her chair at one time and said, does anyone understand what he's saying? Because like a part of me, when she'd jump up, she'd go to read through the question. I was like, did she understand that? Because I wanted to see her face.
You make a good point, though. The people voted for him because I think a lot of people were angry and upset with the establishment and being what it is and wanted to change politics. But now they're getting a little bit of a lesson. Don't just vote for someone because you think they can change the system. Vote for somebody who can also do the job and who's also respectable and who you would trust in that. Right? It's two-sided. It's two-sided.
For president.
A lot of the people who are his constituents, I would think that they're having second thoughts. They have daughters, they have sisters, they have mothers. You really want this pig sitting in the White House? They will play this tape about grabbing a woman's genitals over and over and over again if he is the president.
And keep in mind, 4 former sitting presidents. Right. 4 of them.
On both sides of the aisle.
Both sides of the aisle. GOP and Democratic.
Yeah.
All 4 said this man is not fit to be president of the United States. And when 4 of them say it and they're united, I'm going to listen to them. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Right before the debate, Donald Trump held a press conference with several women who accused
that is really the worst.
May I just point this out? Several of those women slept with him knowing he was a married man. Okay?
With Bill Clinton.
With Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
So, again, she is the victim here. She's the victim here. And they were saying that she attacked some of those women. Yeah. They're lucky. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but if someone slept with your man or your man or your man or your man, I do believe it would not be as polite.
It wouldn't be polite.
It wouldn't be polite. We would not be cute and like, oh, we're so sorry. Nah, bitch.
Exactly.
No. Let's start with the fact that she was the victim in this. She was the person to whom dirty was done. And Donald redid the dirty by reintroducing to the victim. Okay? He reintroduced it and redid it.
As you were just saying in the break, you know, she wouldn't bring all the dirt up because she was being nice about the fact that her daughter is in the audience.
And his daughters are in the audience and his ex-wives are watching. Why? Only a man like that would think that that was the way to go. But some people think now that his performance was very good.
They do, and he certainly used this as a diversion tactic. But let me say this. Paula Jones, one of the women, says that she was sexually harassed. Juanita Broderick says that she was raped, not that she consented to having sex with him.
What happened with that case?
And let's see, what happened with that case?
Charges were brought.
Nope, no charges. And she at first said that, you know, it wasn't true, and then she said it was true. And then Kathleen Willey says that she was groped. And then another woman says that Hillary Clinton, as an attorney, represented the man that raped her. So You know, this is the thing, though, to your point, which was if a woman sleeps with your husband, you're not going to necessarily embrace them.
Well,
I wonder why she didn't have. That's why when he brought up these allegations, I wonder if she missed the opportunity to address it in a way that the public would understand that that's just not how you behave.
The big issue. I would like to apologize to those tramps that have slept with my husband. Maybe she could have said that.
Wait, but flip the side. What the other side of that is the people that are saying, let's say all of these stories are true, and she chose to stay with her husband.
Right.
There isn't any way to be, like, I'm having a disconnect from the people that are saying, let's say he did do those things and she chose to stay with him. She can't really believe it and stay with him, can she? Like,
Hillary, you're talking
Hillary,
about?
could she stay with Bill if she knew he had done these things? And if she knows he did...
Well, she did stay with him. What do you mean, could she?
Well, I mean,
she did.
but if she believes he did those things...
She knows now that he did.
Yeah. So, okay, so he did those things.
Listen, they're both dogs. We don't
know. We don't know.
We don't know.
But the flip argument is that if those women are victims and sitting up there, what do people expect her to do? Because she stayed with her husband.
Well, I guess
he's trying to make her uncomfortable.
And that's the issue is leveling at her for years. Why did she stay with him? Yeah. Women stay with husbands who cheat.
But now she did stay. What are people expecting her to do? Because I kept trying to think through what are the people that are sitting there saying these are women. They've been victims by her husband.
Their point is that she's not really an advocate for women because her husband did these things. But again, you know, all of these charges from the beginning of his presidency, we knew that he had other women in his life. Yeah. This was not a surprise. So clearly, this is a journey they've been on for a while, and that's how they've chosen to do it. But she is running for president. Bill Clinton is not. And in fact, the same crappy behavior that they impeached him for is the same crappy behavior that Donald Trump is indulging in.
Trump has made your point in the past, though. He has the biggest joke of all this is that Trump has defended Hillary in the past on this issue. So he is not a good person.
Defended Bill Clinton.
But he
didn't think anything of what happened in the Oval Office.
He was not someone out here saying Hillary's the bad guy. If you look back at footage, Donald Trump spoke highly of Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
So what he is someone who's a political opportunist. He's an opportunist about this issue. He has spoken highly of Hillary Clinton. So this is a guy who sees an opportunity to get ahead personally and says what he needs to say to get the job. How do you reconcile those two differences? That you throw her under the bus now, and back then she was some kind of hero
who
put up with a bunch of nonsense. Well, you know what? People are more informed. There's video, Donald. We saw the video. Explain yourself.
You know, listen, we're going to find out how Hillary's campaign reacted to all of this when her VP nominee, Senator Tim Kaine, and his wife, Ann Holton, come here on Thursday. But for right now, you know, it's like the poop is just going to keep on coming. It's just
less than 30 days.
Less than 30 days.
I think we should get Billy Bush on here. Let's see what he has to say.
Well, we'll be right back. Right now, the person who is really most affected by the Trump video is Billy Bush. He's been suspended from the Today Show pending a review. I mean, should he get the boot over this? Is this something he should be taken to task for?
I think so. I mean, his statement, he says, you know, obviously I'm embarrassed and ashamed. It's no excuse, but this happened 11 years ago. I was younger, less mature, and acted foolishly in playing along. I'm very sorry. It's great you apologized, but you were 33 years old. You weren't a baby. You don't know how to behave in the workplace? I mean, that's an indication. I don't come to work and talk to people like that. If I have a guest that I'm interviewing, if somebody starts a conversation like that, you shut it down. You're a grown man.
Well, you don't get into it. He got into it with him.
Yeah, he got into it. Yeah, he thought, I don't know why, but why?
Well, maybe because he wanted to get him on tape.
Yeah,
you know, because I guess maybe he wanted
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern. You know, maybe he wanted to get my brain freezes. Maybe he was trying to compete and get his, you know, that kind of access to him. I mean, I don't know, but I have to say, you know, that was 11 years ago. When did they find this tape?
Well, that's another story. The Washington Post has been out to get stuff on Trump for a while, it seems like.
But the thing is with Billy Bush, my sense is that he should have known better. and that he didn't speak truth to injustice. You know, I mean, I think we're called upon to be better than that. We're called upon to, when you hear someone saying something misogynistic or racist or bigoted, to say, oh, that wasn't cool.
But he was engaging. He wasn't only hearing it and saying nothing. He was involved in the discussion.
He didn't do that. And then to just say it was childish of him is really not enough. He got married in 1998, so he was married for several years, 7 years, I think, at this point when he did this. So,
you know, Trump was married during this time, too. He was married to Melania. And Melania was pregnant, and the woman he was referring to, Nancy O'Dell, was also married.
It was Billy Bush's colleague, was his co-host. So the fact that he didn't speak up, I think, is not going to bode well for him with NBC.
I can't imagine. Trump. He knows that there's a microphone on him, doesn't he?
Yes, but I don't think he cares.
Sarah's point.
Yeah.
I doesn't care.
Well,
look what he's gotten away with. I mean, this guy's been running for president for how long, getting votes, what he said about John McCain. I mean, he says terrible things, and I think that's the issue, is that's a guy in a position of power who feels like he can do whatever he wants, and he can go up and kiss you if he wants, and he'll get away with it. He can say this stuff on the national stage, and nobody holds him accountable. Well, guess what? People are starting to say, I'm holding you accountable because I'm not voting for you.
I don't see how the GOP cannot just say, we're not. I don't understand how the GOP doesn't say, listen, you know, I know we should have bailed a long time ago. We kept thinking it was going to get better. But, dude, this is the line in the sand. You know, you're talking about our wives and our daughters.
The GOP has made the argument for how long about family values, about character. They went after Bill Clinton saying character matters.
Yes.
Does character matter now?
If he was a Republican, they wouldn't have gone after him. Get real.
About the bipartisan problems that President Obama had. Imagine if Trump did get elected. Right now, it's not just the Democrats that are disagreeing with him. His own party can't support him. So you'd be going into a field of a...
The party can't take him off the ticket. He's not going to take him off.
They can say, we made a mistake in backing you, and we rescind. Paul Ryan can step up and say, this is not who I am as a man and as a politician.
Announced that he can no longer defend Donald Trump, and that he is now more worried about
rescind the endorsement.
Rescind the endorsement.
That's called
because if you don't, as the women on this panel have said, if you don't, it is implied that you think it's okay. And you got daughters, you got wives. Rescind your support behind this man. As Ana Navarro said, you know, you're implying that it's okay with you.
Well, they're all on the Titanic with him, so when he goes down, they'll go down.
You know, no matter who's going down, we're coming right back.
Next, find out how Oprah parties when you view your deal. We partnered with vendors for half off O Magazine's picks to make your next bash legendary. This week on The View, our hot topics are so red hot.
Baby, you don't know the half of it.
And with the election now just weeks away, our political view is sizzling. Because we got Vice Presidential hopeful Hillary's right-hand man, Tim Kaine, and his wife, Ann Holton.
Wow.
If anything goes when these guests hit The View, Meredith Vieira, Nancy Grace, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Wendy Williams.
Yeah!
It's all this week on The View on ABC.
Season to party, and Oprah teamed up with View Your Deal to take your holiday parties to the next level. We partnered with vendors for half-off stuff that'll get you festive in a flash, but it's only while supplies last. So let's get shopping with creative director of O Magazine, Adam Glassman.
Hi, Adam. Great to see you.
Great to see you.
Can't believe the holidays are almost here.
They are, and it goes without saying that Oprah loves all of these things, correct?
All of these things. They've been in O Magazine, picked by her.
If it's good enough for Oprah.
So let's start cooking
Okay.
with slow cookers from Black & Decker.
Okay.
They make cooking really simple. There are 3 settings. All you have to do is put all your ingredients in, turn on the setting, and leave the house. You come back, you have a full meal.
Oh.
It's really incredible.
Easy was where you had me.
Easy.
Leave it go.
No fuss cooking. A variety of different patterns. My favorite one actually is this chalkboard one. You see it has a chalkboard on there. So when you put in the ingredients, you write a little note, creative notes.
I don't
we
cook,
did yours.
that's funny.
Well, imagine you leave a note for your husband or your kids of what's in there.
I like
and you're
that.
ready to go.
So
yes.
How much are these?
Normally they're $30 to $40. Today they're going to be $15 to $20. 50.
Oh, I love
That's a great buy.
Okay.
Okay, we all know about the adult coloring trend, which is
I
really
love it
popular.
so much.
You do?
Yeah, it's cathartic.
Great. So this from Hester & Cook are all these amazing placemats and table runners. You put it out on the table, it makes the table really festive, really fun, and keeps everyone entertained.
And how much are these?
Okay. They are normally $6 to $29, so they are $3 to $14.50. 50%. Okay. You always have to set the mood for your house with a beautiful scent.
I love
these. Are some of Oprah's favorites. They're from LAFCO. Look how gorgeous they are.
They are
They're packaged
beautiful.
beautifully. They smell delicious. Tons of different scents. They're great gifts. You just keep them in your house and you could just give it to someone.
And give us our deal.
Okay, the deal. 12 to 44 normally, 6 to 22. 50%.
I love...
Smell that. That's
Yes,
great.
amazing.
You're going to love this. Okay, this is
I
a
already
case.
love this.
This is a case that lights up your face. It's a phone case. It's
Gives you the
great.
lighting you need for the
Extra
perfect
light,
selfie.
Perfect selfie. You know, you don't need me. This is great. And then
Okay.
you take a picture, and then you have it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's perfect lighting.
Lights up. Perfect lighting.
And how much are these today?
Okay, normally 50 to 60, 25 to 30. These are great. Stock up on these.
That's pretty cheap for a perfect selfie.
Everyone will want these.
These are
Look
gorgeous.
how cute
Look at
this
the
is.
heart-shaped
This is from
cups.
Yeti. These are heart-shaped cups. They're beautifully packaged in these gorgeous boxes. Yes. They're
My grandma
normally
would be so
$30 to
proud.
$70. They're $15 to $35 for the
For the whole set?
For the set. This is a perfect gift. A perfect gift.
gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
It's a great housewarming.
Okay, feel this sweatshirt.
Oh.
We love these. That say, I love Sundays. Oprah wears these on Sundays.
These are so cute.
You wear these all the time around the holidays when you want to be comfortable and just lounge
Or every day of
around.
my life, yeah.
Peace, love, world. They feel great. Normally, they're $88 to $108. Today, they're $44 to $49, plus free shipping.
Oh, free shipping,
Yes.
people.
Yes.
You always have me with the free shipping. Adam,
Yes.
our thanks to Adam Glassman. The clock is ticking, people. You have 24 hours to grab any of these exclusive deals at viewyourdeal.com. And members of the audience are going home with LAFCO luxurious hand cream and a copy of Oh, the Oprah magazine. We'll be right back.